Hello friends, welcome back. So in this session we will learn about the runtime class of lang package. What is runtime class? Similarly, we have seen in the last session system class. System class is representing, or that is system class is used to interact with your system. Information about your system you can get using system class. In the same way, a runtime class is given for JVM specifically. To interact with JVM, you can use runtime class. In your application, one JVM is there, one JVM. So that's why one runtime class is there. That runtime class object is representing to your JVM only. So runtime class is used to interact with JVM, and runtime is designed as singleton design pattern. Singleton design pattern. What is singleton design pattern? See, design patterns is a design pattern is a what you can say, it's a pattern that allow you to design some specific object for specific purpose. Singleton means you can create only one object. You are restricting. For your class, you can create only one object. You cannot create multiple objects. Suppose previously we have seen we can create so we have created one student class. For that student we can create n number of objects as per our requirement. 1, 2, 3, 100, 1000, 10,000, n number of objects we can create, no issue. But if we want to restrict, then how we can do? Suppose I want to restrict that only one object should be created for that class. In that case, you have to follow the singleton design pattern. Singleton design pattern allow you to design your class in such a way that allow developer to create only one object for that one. So runtime is implemented as a singleton design pattern, because JVM is single only one JVM is there in your application. Okay, basically this class is used for memory management and other OS process operation, operating system process execution. You want to do, you can do that one, or you want to do some memory management, you can do that one. So these basic features you can do using a runtime class. The method of this class are defined as instance method. Instance method is obviously instance method you can access with object reference only. If you don't have object reference, you cannot access that one. So in that case, this is a instance methods. These all are the instance method inside a runtime class. Okay, there are some methods. Now all methods I have listed here. So we will go one by one. One method is there get runtime. That is a static method. Static method means you no need any object to call this get runtime method, and it will return the reference object of same type. Why? Because this is the representation of singleton design pattern. Get runtime is returning the reference object of same type, and always it will be written that one only. It is not like that every time get runtime you will create a new and return. Now only one object it will be created, and that object only it is returning. So this is the implementation of singleton design pattern. Get runtime. If you want to define for your own class, you can do that like that, or get instance you can use like that. That is up to your choice. See here, okay, let's me show this one. So if we see here, we cannot create runtime in this way. Runtime using new keyword we cannot create, like runtime is equals to new runtime, new runtime, because the constructor is private for this runtime. You cannot create like that. You cannot create. See, constructor runtime is not visible because this is a private. That is private. You cannot do that one. But to call any of the method, because we have said here all methods are instance method. It means you need object reference. You need object to call that one. But we cannot create object using new keyword, because the constructor is private. In that case you have to use the static method get runtime. Get runtime will return the reference of runtime object, and using this runtime we can call any of the method. So currently I am not calling any method, I am just executing this program, and you will see the output. Yes, program started. I am printing here program started, and if you see I am printing here program ended. That's it. In middle whatever the methods is there, that I am commenting. I'm commenting that one. Okay, so I am getting one runtime, and first I am printing program started. I am getting a runtime reference variable, and just I am printing program ended. That's it. This is the program. This is another method. That is another method. Not method. This is static class. Okay. Inner static class. Okay. That is different. We will discuss by. I have written this one. So this is the first method, get runtime. Get runtime is nothing but returning the reference of a runtime only. Next method is exit. Exit means what? Yeah, exit means exit JVM. So this is the first method, exit JVM. What happened, because if I run without this exit, then you see this last statement also will be executed. Program ended, this will be executed. Oh, I clicked wrongly. Yeah, so I am running. Yeah, you can see program started, this statement is printing, program ended, this statement is printing. But what if I exit from JVM in middle? Then it will not print the last statement. Yes, program started, that's it, and after that on I am exiting the JVM, and this in that case this statement will not be executed. So this is the use of exit statement. Halt is also there, that is same only. The difference is forcefully you want to exit. Sometime inside JVM some thread is running already. You cannot exit from that JVM because JVM is executing some threads. In that case, forcefully you want to exit. In that case, you can use halt. Both are same, but this is to forcefully. Yeah, here if you see that see this documentation, forcefully terminate the current running JVM virtual machine. This method never return normally, and this in the same way exit, this is returning normally. See. So this is the use of this halt and exit. Okay. The next one is add shutdown hook. What is shutdown hook? Shutdown hook means add shutdown hook to JVM to execute when JVM stops. Suppose before to stop the JVM you want to do some task, then how will you do? You can use this method. You can add shutdown hook. You can add shutdown hook to your JVM. To JVM you want to add some shutdown hook. Using that shutdown hook you can execute your process whatever you want to. Suppose this is a thread. Actually if you see what exactly the reference parameter is a java.lang.thread. This is a threading related environment. This is a threading. We need to give a thread here. Add shutdown hook, we can give a one thread. When JVM will when JVM will going to shut down, JVM will start this thread first. After executing this thread, your JVM will shut down. So we have created here one thread, JVM shutdown hook. That is a thread name, JVM shutdown hook, and that same I am creating here, and I am adding to this runtime. This runtime is what that is representing your JVM only. So in this JVM I am adding some shutdown hook, this thread. So now first it will print program started, then this thread is created and that thread is added to that shutdown hook. After that one, program ended will come. After the program ending, JVM shutdown will happen. You will see this one. Yes, program started, program ended, and JVM shut down, because JVM is shut down after executing this. After executing this last statement, JVM has to be shut down because no other statement to execute. And after that, before to be shut down, I want to execute this process, this thread. I want to execute this thread. You can execute. You can register that shutdown hook here. If you want to remove that shutdown hook, you can remove. See, now it will remove the same. Yes, it's removed. So this is about shutdown hook, remove or add shutdown hook. Yes, halt we have seen, exit and halt same. Halt will forcefully terminate your JVM and exit will normally terminate. Okay. Yeah, this is EXEC means execution of a process of your operating system. Suppose from the console or from the terminal you can execute any process. You can start Firefox, you can open Notepad++, anything you can do. In the same way, you can do the same process from this JVM also. Suppose this one. If you see, execute what? This command. This is a command. Execute the specified string command in a separate process. This will be a process. After executing this program also, that process will be continue, because that is separate process. Process and thread is you understood. Thread is the part of your programs, multiple tasks you are doing, but process itself is a different, and process can have a thread. Thread is a part of your process, and process is a separate. So this will start one new process. It will open Firefox. When I run this one, you will see Firefox will automatically open. The program is ended. Now JVM is ended. After ending this JVM, this Firefox will open. See, because that is a separate process. Yeah, Firefox is opening. Yes, this is opening. That's it. So this is the use of this one. And that okay, once more I will run and you will see. Suppose, yeah, this program is ended, JVM is shut down, JVM ended. After that only this process is started, and this process is continually running. Even your JVM is shut down, that is gone. JVM is shut down, that JVM has finished his task, but still that process is running, because that is a separate process. This is the meaning of process. Process means that separate applications you can say in your program. Thread is the part of the process. Okay, and we can close this process. Okay, so this is the use of EXEC method. There are n number of ECX methods, 1 2 3 4 5. See, what is the use of them? If you want to give, see, this is a command only, but what if you after this command you want to give some parameter to that command? Using this one you can give. This is the command, and this is the parameter to that command. Here this is the command and these are the parameter to this command, along with some file. Means this is input output file. We will see input output package. In that will you see file is nothing but representing file, like that can be a text file, PDF file, image file, video file, anything. That is a file representing a file. You want to supply some file to your process, to this command, along with some parameter. You can use this one. The same one, if you want to add, you want to give multiple commands, you can give here multiple command and multiple argument, and multiple command, multiple argument, and a file. it's up to your choice how you want to use, but the motive is only to execute the process, of operating system. We can use this exec method. Okay, the next one is available processor. What is the meaning of available processor? Return the number of processor available to the Java virtual machine. Suppose how many processor is there in your system that are free and that JVM can use. Suppose in your architecture, suppose there are 8 processor. From that 8 processor, some of the processor are busy, already they are working. So how many available processor are how many processor are available for JVM only? It will return that one. Other processors, that processor are busy in some other processor they are doing, so JVM will not use that one. How many processor that JVM can use, it will return that only. Return the number of processor available to the JVM machine. JVM. So which one is that method? Yeah, available processor, and run this one. 8 processors are there. Okay, and free memory, total memory, max memory. What is the use of these methods? Suppose free memory, return the amount of free memory in JVM machine. Suppose when your application is starting, you are starting your JVM, then JVM will take some memory from your operating system to execute your process, to execute your application. Suppose if your system has 4 GB RAM, in that case 1/4 part means the 4th part of your RAM your JVM will take from operating system. Like 4 GB RAM is there, then definitely 1 GB RAM, 1 GB space your JVM will acquire by default. You can increase and decrease that memory, means how much memory I want to acquire to execute this process. You can do that one also, that is not a problem. Okay, so this will return how much free memory is there. It will return. Okay, and what is the total memory? Total memory means total memory, how much your JVM has taken. Return the total amount of memory in JVM, how much memory total your JVM is taking, and how much is free. Max memory means return the maximum amount of memory that JVM machine will attempt to use. Maximum, how much it can take. Suppose 8 GB RAM is there, then 8 GB, exactly 8 GB RAM is there, then 8 GB your JVM cannot acquire, because you have operating system also has to run and some other process if you are running. In that case your JVM will not take 8 GB, it will take some max limit that JVM can take. So this will return the max amount. If you want to this will be a long bytes only, these many bytes actually, these are the bytes. Maximum your JVM can take this much only, available is this much only, free is this much only, almost free. Okay, so this is the about available processor, free memory, total memory, max memory. Okay, the next one is a garbage collection, that we have already seen in the system. Same process. Either you can call that from system or you can call from JVM, no issue. Using system class also you can initiate garbage collector and finalizer. We have seen this one. Finalization, what it will do, it will call the final method. One method is there, sorry, what is that method? Finalizer or what? Wait. Yes, not this one. Yes, finalize method. To finalize this method, to finalize means what? You want to release some resource, or you want to do something, you want to release some resource or some variable value in that case we have to use this finalize method here. So if we use this method run finalization, so first it will call the finalization method, but when JVM garbage collector is running, at that time only the finalization method will be called. Explicitly you can call, that is a doesn't matter. Load means that is nothing but loading the libraries. This is also same thing, you can give this one also, you can give this one also. Internally you can give classes, because this method is internally calling this one, this method internally calling this only. The same thing here, you can give classes and you can give the libraries, native libraries. And if you want to know the version, of your JVM, then you can use that one, version of your JVM. This is a version as a JVM. Okay, yes. So JVM version, it will return what is the JVM version 15.0.2, this one, JVM is 15. Okay, so this all about and this is a static block, one static block. What is the use of the static block? That will be used to initialize some fields. Currently fields may be there or not there, so it will, that is, we have already seen what is the use of static block. Okay, so this is all about the runtime class. Runtime class is what that is used to interact with JVM. It is implemented as a singleton design pattern, and basically we can use this for memory management and process execution. And this method of this runtime class are defined as instance method, so you need an object to access those methods. That's it, and we have seen. So in the next session we will see comparable and comparator. Both comparator is also there, comparable is there. We will see this one. Okay, so I hope you like this session. Please subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next session. Till that, bye bye.